Right. Now the first question they have given, 200 logs are stacked in the following manner. 20 logs in the bottom row, 19 logs in the next row, 18 in the next row, and so on. And they have said there are 200 logs, which means what? The S of n is 200. Now remember guys, word problems are very easy. All you need to do is understand what is given, what forms the AP, and what else is given. All you need to do is identify what is given. It's just about basic English, understanding. Go sentence by sentence and understand what is given. You'll easily get the answers because the solutions will be very simple. It has all to do with what we have learned before. So word problems are not difficult. Just go one sentence by one sentence, understand what is given and what is needed to be found. Okay, now they've asked in how many rows the 200 logs are placed. Now we have taken the AP as 2019. So this is number of logs. So this is the first term. So this is in the first row. This is the second term. So this is in the second row. So in how many rows? They've asked us to find the value of n. How many terms are there in this AP? And how many logs in the top row? So we have to find A of n in the last row, or we have to find the last term of this AP. So we know A is 20, D is -1, S of n is 200. So using these three things we can find the value of n. So S of n, that is 200, equal to n by 2 into 2A, that is 2 into 20, plus n minus 1, that is n minus 1 into D, that is -1. Remember, negative term, put brackets, be very careful. I'll transpose 2 on the other side, it becomes 200 into 2, 400, equal to n into 40 plus n into -1 minus n, -1 into -1 plus 1. So I get 400 equal to n into 40 plus 1, 41 minus n. Now I'll open the brackets, I get 400 equal to 41n minus n square. Now this is a quadratic equation, so I'll transpose all n terms on one side, so it becomes n square plus n square minus 41n plus 400 equal to 0. I cannot simplify this further, so I'll use the formula method to find the value of n. So the formula is minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac by 2a. Now minus b is minus of minus 41. Don't forget to take the negative signs with a, b and c. Plus or minus root of b square minus 41 square. Minus 4 into a is 1 into c is 400 by 2 into 1. So minus of minus plus, so I get 41 plus or minus root of 41 square, 41 into 41, minus square becomes plus, so 41 into 41, 41 4 16, 1681, so it becomes 1681, minus 4 into 400 is 1600 by 2, so I get 41 plus or minus root of 1681 minus 1600 is 81 by 2. So I'll just continue it here. I'll get 41 plus or minus 9 by 2. So 41 plus 9 and 41 minus 9 by 2. So I'll get 50 by 2, and 41 minus 9 is 32 by 2. So 1s are, 25s are, 1s are, 16s are. So I got two values of n. N is equal to 25 and n is equal to 16. Why? Because remember, this is a decreasing AP. So initially the sum increases when the numbers are positive, and when the negative terms start, the sum again goes down. Like we have discussed before, there are chances that two different sums of different number of terms can give us the same answer. So that is what has happened here. So which is the right option? N of 16 is the right option. Why? Because initially it was increasing. So at n of 16, the total became 200, which means terms are still positive. When it reaches n of 25, the terms are negative, which means there are supposed to be negative number of logs, which is not possible. So our n value is 16. So we found how many rows are there in the stacking, like in how many rows they have stacked. Now all we need to find is how many logs are there in that row. So we have to find a of n. So a of n, that is a of 16, equal to a, that is 20, plus n minus 1, that is 16 minus 1, 15, into d, that is minus 1. So this becomes 20 minus 15. So a of 16 is 5, which means there are 5 logs in the last row. Second question. A spiral is made up of successive semicircles with centers alternately at A and B. So let's say this is A, this is B. Starting with center A. So the first spiral will have, the semicircle will have center A of radii 0.5, 1 centimeter, 1.5 centimeter. So the first radii will be 0.5 centimeter. So this is the center. This will be your first semicircle. We'll just draw a line for drawing purposes. Now the second will have center at A, but it will be 1. So it will become like this. Now the third will have center at A, the second will have center at B. The third one will have center at A. So it becomes like this. And it continues. So what they've asked us is, what is the total length of such spiral made up of 13 consecutive semicircles? So what will be the length of 13 such spirals? What is the length of each spiral? How do you calculate the length of the spirals? This is a semicircle. So this length plus this semicircle length plus this semicircle length. So first we need to find the length of each semicircle and add them. So what is the length of the first semicircle? Semicircle is half of circumference. So circumference of a circle is 2 pi r. So length of a semicircle will be 2 pi r by 2. That is pi r. So the first one, the radius is 0.5. So pi r would be 0.5 into pi. The length of the second semicircle will be 1 into pi. Of the third one will be 1.5 into pi. So it goes on. And there are 13 consecutive semicircles. So n is equal to 13. So we have the length of the first, second, third semicircle, which forms an AP. We have the number of terms. So what we need to find is S of n. So S of n is S of 13, that is. So S of 13 will be n by 2, that is 13 by 2, into A, that is 0.5 pi, plus n minus 1, that is 13 minus 1, 12, into D. What is D? 1 pi minus 0.5, 0.5 pi. So it will be 0.5 pi. This is your A. D is 1 pi minus 0.5 pi, that is equal to 0.5 pi. Second term minus first term. So S of 13 will be equal to 13 by 2 into 0.5 pi, 12 into 12 into 0.5, 6 pi. So that is equal to 13 by 2 into 6.5 pi. Now I'll substitute the value of pi, 13 by 2 into 6.5. Okay, we have made a mistake in this. I'm sorry. S of n is 13 by 2 into 2a. So it is not 0.5 pi, it's 0.5 pi into 2, that is 1 pi. Again 1 pi. So this becomes 7 pi. So this becomes 7 into pi by 2, that is 22 by 7. Now, how did I find out this mistake? The reason I realized it was because 22 by pi is 22 by 7. Generally, in problem in any problem, most or majority of the problems that you get, they'll give you values such that 22 by 7 pi is easily calculable. So basically, in most of your problems, you'll find that 7 will definitely cancel with some other value. This you will notice more in surface area and volumes, because you use pi for almost every problem over there. So just remember, in 10th standard board exams, generally whenever you are using pi for some calculations, usually they give you other values are arranged in such a way that the value of 22 by value of pi is easily calculable. So 7 ones are 7 ones are 2 ones are 22, 11s are 22, yeah, 11s are now 13 into 11. So 13 into 11, I will not take a risk, it is 143. So it's 143 centimeter. The total length of 13 such semicircles or the entire spiral is 143 centimeter. The third question, these are all answered questions. In a potato race, a bucket is placed at the starting point. So we'll place the bucket. Sorry, I am doing a small drawing. Hopefully you will be able to see, because I need the space to solve the problem. Which is 5 meter from the first potato. So the first potato is here. So it's at a distance of 5 meter. The other potatoes are placed 3 meter apart in a straight line. So there are other potatoes which are placed 3 meter apart in a straight line. There are 10 potatoes in a line. So there are 10 such potatoes. Each competitor starts from the bucket, picks the nearest potato and comes back and drops it in the bucket and runs, okay. Then again he goes to the next potato, gets it back, drops it in the bucket. So he carries on like in such a manner. What is the total distance the competitor has to run? So we have to find the total distance he runs. So how do we form the AP? Now for the first potato, he goes 5 meters and comes back 5 meters. So for the first potato, he is traveling a distance of 10 meters. For the second potato, he goes 5 plus 3, that is 8 meters, and comes back 8 meters. So it becomes 16 meters. For the third potato, he goes 5 plus 3 plus 3, that is 11. Is it 11? Yeah, it's 11 meters and comes back 11 meters. So that's total of 22 meters. Now this distance forms your AP. So 10, 16, 22, 16 minus 10 is 6, 22 minus 16 is 6. So we have our A, that is 10, we have our D, which is 16 minus 10, that is 6. Now there are 10 potatoes. So what is that? That is your number of terms, or number of potatoes become number of terms. Now all we have to do is find the total distance, that is S of 10, equal to n by 2, that is 10 by 2 into 2A. So 2 into 10 plus n minus 1, that is 10 minus 1 into D, that is 6. So 2 ones are 5s are, so I get 5 into 20 plus 10 minus 1 is 9, 9 into 6 is 54. So I get 5 into 74. So 5 4s are 20, 5 7s are 35 plus 2, 37. So the total distance runner will cover is 370 meter. Very long problem, very easy to solve. For most word problems, you might have to do diagrams. Do it, it makes your job very, very simple. Fourth question. A ladder has rungs 25 centimeter apart. So there is a ladder with rungs 25 centimeter apart. So this distance is 25 centimeter. The rungs decrease uniformly. So it's not a straight ladder. It is a decreasing, or whichever way you look at it. If you are seeing from bottom to top, it's decreasing like this. So it's a decreasing, the length of rungs are decreasing. From 45 centimeter at bottom, so the bottommost rung is 45 centimeter to 25 centimeters at the top. So the topmost rung is 25 centimeter. If the top and bottom rungs are 2.5 meters apart, so 2.5 meters apart. What is the length of wood needed for the rungs? So length of this plus length of this plus length of this till the last rung. Now first for that we need to find the number of rungs that are present, value of n. Now they have given us the distance between first and last rung, and they have given us the distance between each rung. So the distance between first and last rung is 2.5 meters, that is 5 by 2 meters, which I'll convert into centimeters by multiplying by 100. So 50, so I get 250 centimeters. So this is the total distance from here to here, and each rung is 25 centimeters apart. So I'll divide this by 25, so I get 10. So do I get 10 rungs? See, when I am dividing 250 by 25, what I am getting is the space between, like we are actually getting the number of spaces between the rungs, which means we need to add 1. So there are actually 11 rungs. Why? I will explain separately. See, these are the rungs. Now, if the answer was 1, this is the space that we are getting, but how many rungs are there? 2. Let's say the answer was 2. There are 2 spaces, but how many rungs? 3. So now we understood why we need to add 1. So since the number of spaces are 10, the number of rungs will be 10 plus 1, that is 11. Now we have the number of rungs, that is your n value. Next, they have said, okay, now that we know the number of rungs, it's very easy. The first, we can consider the bottommost rung as the first term, that is the length is 45, that is your A. The last rung is 25. We know n, we know A, we know L. They have asked us the total length, which means we have to find S of n, which is nothing but S of 11, since n is 11. So S of 11 is equal to n by 2 into A plus L. So 11 by 2 into 45 plus 25, 70. So 2 ones are 35s are 11 into 35, again we'll do 35 into 11. So 35, so 583. So 385 centimeter, or you can convert it to meter, that is 3.85 meter. Either answer is acceptable. The fifth problem, the houses of a row are numbered consecutively from 1 to 49. So 1, 2, 3, 4, so on till 49, 48, 49, so on. So these are the numbers of the row of houses. Show that there is a value of x such that the sum of numbers of the houses preceding, which means before, the house number x. So x is somewhere here in between. So the sum of number of houses preceding x, so from here till here, is equal to the sum of numbers of the house following it. So from here till here. So S of n of this should be equal to S of n of that. That is what they have asked you to show, and find the value of x. Now, which will be the last term for this particular AP? It's an AP with common difference 1 because it's increasing by 1. So the previous term to x is x minus 1. And after x, the next term becomes x plus 1. So for this AP, the last term is x minus 1, first term is a, d is 1. So we have to find x. So what will be the value of n? Value of n is x minus 1. So we have to show that S of x minus 1 equal to S of, now the first term for this AP is x plus 1, last term is 49. So how many terms? 49 minus x plus 1 plus 1. We have to do 49 minus x plus 1 in brackets because there is a minus sign, plus 1. Why are we doing this plus 1? For example, if I ask you how many numbers after 10 till 20, so when you, the first number after 10 is 11. So if you do 20 minus 11, the answer is 9. But there are actually 10 terms from 11 to 20. So when you do 20 minus 11, what happens is you are removing 11. Whereas we don't need to remove the first term from here. We need to get a count for that as well. So 49 minus this plus 1, or the simpler way would, other way you could have done it is 20 minus 10. So there are 10 terms. So we could have done 49 minus x directly. But if you solve this equation, you will get 49 minus x. So n for the second AP is 49 minus x. So we'll find this n is x so S of n is n by 2, that is x minus 1 by 2 into 2a, that is 2 into a for this is 1, so 2 into 1 is 2, plus n minus 1, that is x minus 1 minus 1 into d, so d is also 1. This should be equal to n by 2, that is 49 minus x. Oh, actually we can do it in a simpler way. We know the first term and we know the last term for both. So we'll use n by 2 into a plus l. So x minus 1 by 2 into a, that is 1, plus L, that is x minus 1. This should be equal to n for the second AP is 49 minus x. So n by 2 into a, that is x plus 1 plus L, that is 49. Now this 2 and this 2 cancels, because when I transpose this 2 on the other side, it becomes, it goes up. So 2 and 2 cancels. So I get x minus 1 into plus 1 minus 1 cancels into x equal to 49 minus x into x plus 50. So I get, I'll open the brackets here, x square minus x equal to, now I'll multiply here 49 into x, 49x, 49 into 50, so plus 50 into 49 would be 0, 9 5s are 45, 0, 20, so 2 4 5 0, so 2 4 5 0. Then minus x into x, minus x square, minus x into 50, minus 50x. Now x square minus x equal to 49 minus 50 minus x plus 2450 minus x square. I'll transpose everything on the other side. So x square minus x becomes plus x, minus 2450 plus x square equal to 0. So minus x plus x cancels. X square plus x square is 2x square minus 2450 equal to 0. I transpose this on the other side. 2x square equal to 2450. So x square equal to 2450 by 2. So I get x square equal to 1225, which means x equal to root of 1225. So I'll use division method. 1225, from right hand side I select the value of 2 and this. So 3 3s are 9. I'll add plus 3 here, so it becomes 6. I'll write it slightly on the left hand side. 12 minus 9, 3, 25. Now since it's ending with 5, I'll try 65 into 5. So 65 into 5, 5 5s are 25, 6 5s are 30 plus 2, 325. So 5 5, I get 325. So square root of 1225 is 30. So the answer is 34. Next problem, a small terrace at a football ground comprises of 15 steps each. 15 steps, each of which is 50 meter long and built of solid concrete. So there are 15 steps in a terrace. So the terrace would be something like this. There are 15 such steps which are 50-meter long. So a little bit of my artwork. I guess I've done it correctly. So here, here and here. So there are 15 such steps, each of which is 50-meter long. So the length is 50. Each step has a rise of 1/4 meter. So this is 1/4 meter. This is what a rise means. And a tread of half meter. Tread means what? Tread is your footstep. Actually you tread. You say you tread, right? So the foot distance is half meter. So they have kept the tread as half meter. Right? Calculate the total amount of concrete needed to build the terrace. So how much concrete do we need? It is a volume problem. In case you haven't gone through surface area and volumes, don't worry about it. You will easily understand what I am doing right now when you do surface area and volumes. Just remember, this is form of a cuboid. So volume of a cuboid is L into B into H. That is all you need to remember for this problem. You learn this in surface area and volumes in the future. Okay, now how much concrete do we need? It means it is a volume problem. Even this concept you will understand once you do surface area and volumes. So how much concrete? Volume. So it will be volume of this step plus volume of this step plus volume of this step. So let's see, we'll build the AP. So for the first step, length is 50, height is 1/4 and breadth is 1/2. So the volume of the first step will be equal to L, that is 50, into B, that is 1/2, into H, 1/4. So 2 ones are 25s are, so the answer is 25/4 meter cube. Similarly, volume of second step will be, okay, the length is 50 itself. The breadth is still 1.2, but the height, here it's 1/4 and it again increases by 1/4. So 1/4 plus 1/4. So the height is the only thing that will increase. So we get 50 into 1/2 into 1/4 plus 1/4 is 2/4, that is 1/2. So 2 ones are 25. So we get 25/2 meter cube and so on. So the first term is 25/4, second term is 25/2 and it continues. Now how many such steps are there? They have said there are 15 such steps, which means N is equal to 15. That is what they have given. So now the total amount of concrete would be the total amount of volume of each step. So we have to find S of 15. That is equal to N/2, that is 15/2, into 2A, that is 2 into 25/4, plus N, that is 15 minus 1, into D. Okay, now we need to find D, that is 25 by, D will be equal to 25/2 minus 25/4, second term minus first term. So into 2 into 2, so I get 50 minus 25, 50 minus 25/4. So D is equal to 25/4 from here. So now I'll substitute 15, okay, D is 25/4, so 25/4. So 15/2 into 2 ones are 2s are, so I get 25/2 plus 15 minus 1, that is 14, into 25/4. So 2 2s are 7s are. So I get 15/2 into 25/2 plus 7 into 25 is 175 by 2. So this is 15/2 into 25 plus, since denominators are same, I don't have to take LCM, directly add 200/2. So 2 ones are, hundreds are. So I get 15 by 2 into 100. So 2 ones are 50s are. So 15 into 50, 15 into 0 is 0, 15 into 5 is 750. So the answer is 750 meter cube. Word problems, like I said, are very simple. Just understand what is given. Do drawings for most of, you will need to do the drawings for most of your word problems. So once you do the drawing, that is when you get the idea of how to form an AP and what is given and what is needed to be found. Now the seventh and the last question. A sum of rupee 1000 is invested at 8% simple interest per year. So the investment is 1000 and the SI is 8%. Calculate the interest at the end of 30 years. So they have asked us to calculate the interest, which means we do not need to add the principal. Remember, when they say calculate the interest, we only have to find how much interest he has earned at the end of 30 years. So 30 years, so n will be 30. Now 8% interest, how much is 8% of 1000? It's simple interest. So directly 8% of 1000, that is 8 into 10, that is equal to 80 rupees. So at the end of first year, he'll get 80 rupees. If he, at the end of second year, he would have got 80 for the first year and 80 for the second, 160 rupees. At the end of third year, you would have got 80 plus 80 plus 80, that is 240 rupees. So on and so forth for the for 30 years. So what do we need to find here? We have to find A of 30 is how much? End of 2 years he has earned 160, end of 3 years he has earned 240. How much has he earned at the end of 30 years? So A of 30 will be equal to A, that is 80, plus n minus 1, that is 30 minus 1, into D is 80. Every year he is earning 80, he is increasing by 80. So D is 80. So this is equal to 80 plus 29 into 80. Okay, there is a very easy way. Instead of multiplying 29 into 80, what I can do is I can take 80 common. So I get 80 into 1 plus 29. So I get 80 into 30. So 2 zeros. So 2 zeros, 8 threes are 24. So the total interest at the end of 30 years that he earns is 2024. So guys, remember, don't get worried with word problems. They are actually very easy. It's just about how well you understand English. It's more about your English. The AP part you already know. Just read the problem sentence by sentence. Understand what is given. Note down what is given and try to find out what has been asked.